Hello there and welcome to my page. My name is Alexander Rozinek and I'm very excited about what you're going to see in a very short time. I recently actually did an interview with Ray Higdon. He is one, if not the most important mentor for me for the last 2 years maybe. He's a rock star, he's a $1 million earner, he's a good friend. So I'm very excited to present this record to you. I want to ask for your how to say, I want to apologize to you because the quality is not really the best. It was a Google Hangout that I recorded, and sometimes my internet was a little bit weak. But you can hear everything he says. That's the main thing. Sometimes the picture is a little bit below, so please bear with me. And without any further delay, I want to show you the recording of the interview with Ray Higdon. See you on the other side. Oh my God, today we have an incredible guest here. It's the famous Ray Higdon. He will tell something himself about himself, but I'm following him since more than 2 years. He is actually top producer #1 in his company. He had absolutely staggering results. I can recommend everyone, if you are here on this call, if you see the video, take a paper and a pen and take a lot of notes, because when a $1 million earner speaks, everybody should be listening if you are at all looking to become a top earner in your company. So welcome, Ray.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And just a quick clarification, my last company, I was the #1 income earner, but I'm currently, we actually moved about a year ago, so I'm no longer in that company, but I was the #1 income earner in my last company. So just to clarify.
Okay. But somehow, like, the company you were in was taken over from your new company, is that right? They were like...
We merged that company into the new company, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So, Ray, how long have you been in this profession?
Well, I mean, I originally joined network marketing in February of 2006, but I didn't really take it seriously. I actually started taking network marketing seriously in July of 2009.
Okay. What do you mean by taking it seriously?
Like most people, I treated it like a hobby, so I wasn't going after it. I wasn't investing in myself. I wasn't doing the daily things that would make someone successful inside network marketing. So I was a member, but I wasn't really taking it seriously. I wasn't thinking about it long term.
Okay. So how did you get started first? Like
when I got serious, you mean, or?
Maybe both?
Okay. So I originally got introduced by a friend, and I told him I wasn't interested in building the business, and but I would get the product to support him. And so I started getting the product, and I just saw some people making money over there, so I mentioned it to a few people, and had a little bit of results over there, but nothing long term. As far as in July of 2009, when I really took it seriously. When I joined, I was in foreclosure, I was dead broke, I'd lost it all through real estate, and I just went after it pretty hardcore. So my first 6 months, I went for 20 no's a day, every single day, 7 days a week, and that was online, offline, cold market, warm market. I just went after it. So I came from foreclosure, I hit my first $10,000 month, my 5th month, 40,000 a month, my 7th month, 50,000 a month, my 10th month, did over $1 million in commissions in that company, and was the #1 income earner. So it was a little bit different scenario when you focus.
Yes, it looks like. So about your start, like, how was it? Was it hard? Was it difficult? How would you, for somebody who is looking at this profession, what would you say? Was it hard? Was it difficult? Was it easy?
Well, to me, the hardest thing is thinking about how bad stuff is. That's what's hard. The actual work isn't actually hard. It's, yeah, you're going to get rejected. Yeah, you're going to get, people be stupid about it or whatever. I mean, you're going to get that, but that's not actually hard. What's hard is sitting around, for like a year. I was in like a depressive kind of state and just thought about how I lost everything and how life sucked and how I didn't know what my life meaning was. That's hard. Actually doing the work, you actually forget. You don't have time to think about how hard it actually is, so you just go do the work. When you're doing the work, you don't have time to think about it, and it's not really that hard. So it's more people spending time in their mind. That's what's really hard. It's worrying about things. It's stressing about things. It's being afraid of doing things. That's hard. But actually doing the work isn't that hard. You just gotta you got to create a vision that's going to pull you to do it every day and go make it happen.
Okay. So why did you get started at all? Like, why you choose network marketing?
Well, at the time, when I got serious, I didn't have hardly any money at all. I had failed in a bunch of different businesses. I'd failed in network marketing. I'd failed in an advertising franchise. I'd failed in my real estate company. And so I didn't have a lot of money. I saw the potential to make it happen with very little risk and very little overhead. And I just decided if I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do it big. And so that's, I went after it. So I needed to make money when I started. What I found along the way, once we kind of figured out the whole money thing, is I really enjoyed it. So now it's more we do it because we like it. But when we started, we had to make money. So that's definitely the reason I started.
Okay. What would you say is the most important thing to do if someone just got started?
There's a few things. Number one, have the right expectations. Some people, they get into this thing, they're going to test the waters for a week or a day or whatever. And this is a long-term deal. It's just not, if you're doing this for short-term, I need to make money this month, then go do any other sales job. Go sell cars, go sell real estate, go sell anything, because it's just, this is a long-term deal. People ask me, what did I make my first month? And my answer to them is, I actually don't know, because they're still paying me on that first month, 5 years later. And, so it's a long-term deal. It's not a short-term thing. So have the right expectations, create a vision of who you want to become. If you truly want freedom, if you want a great lifestyle, then you're going to have to put in work over an extended period of time. Number 3, attend your company events. I've yet to meet someone who makes a lot of money inside network marketing that doesn't. So kind of draw that conclusion. It's just crazy to me if someone says that they want to make it big in network marketing, but they're not sure if they're going to make it to a company event. Just stop fooling yourself. You're treating it as a hobby, and that's okay. It's okay to be a hobbyist. You just won't ever make big money. So you either treat it like a business and you go serious and you attend the events and you do the things that your upline and your system suggests, or you don't. Just don't fool yourself. And I find a lot of people waste time with just fooling themselves on what they're doing. So follow the advice of your upline, and if they're no good, then find the upline that is. Some people use outside training. A lot of people, I have different products and things that people have purchased in the past that helped them. But you got to put in the effort. This isn't just because this is a shortcut doesn't mean you can shortcut the shortcut. And that's what most people try to do. They try to really get there super fast or something like that by doing something clever. And all of that stuff's been tried. All of it's been tested out. You got to go at this thing long term if you really want to have success.
Mm-hmm. So many nuggets already just in this one, huh? Amazing.
Thanks.
You were saying like at one point that I just took a note about was about events, no? Like someone wants to make a lot of money, but he doesn't make it to the event. So that
you have to see it happen.
Yeah, of course. Now I have one question. Like many people, when they get started, many of them don't have money. Some have really no money, and some have a little money, and it's a lot of, we hear this money issue, no? So what would you say to someone who misses an event because he cannot afford it? It's actually the same like starting, honestly, isn't it?
It really is baloney, to be honest. Just to call it out, it's baloney. If you truly want to get there, you will get there. I've seen people hitchhike. I've seen people sleep in their cars. I've seen people take buses. I've seen people sell their furniture. I've seen people sell their TV. I've seen people borrow money. I've seen people max out credit cards. People that want to make it happen, they make it happen. And the less money you have, the more critical it is that you get there. I mean, if I miss an event, my business isn't going to fold. But if I'm dead broke, that may be the critical linchpin in my success route that if I don't go, I may fall to pieces, right? And so the less money you have, the more critical. I mean, it's like, a heart monitor. You have to get there. And whether it's selling your bicycle, selling your jewelry, selling your furniture, selling your TV, donating blood, borrowing from friends and family, hitchhiking. I've seen all those scenarios, every single one of them. And the only thing is you're just fooling yourself if you're not going there. And if you use the money excuse, most people will say, "Oh, it's okay, it's all right." And I'm just here to tell you it's not. You need to think, how can I? How can I get the money? What can I sell? What extra job can I pick up? What can I get a newspaper route? Can I deliver pizzas? Can I, whatever? Can I, make crafts? You need to really think about how can I, not I just don't have enough. Because you can just don't have enough the rest of your life, and everyone will be okay with it except you.
Yes. Okay. So that brings us to another question that I had. It's about, we hear this excuse a lot. Many people also speak about that when they want to get someone started, and the person says, "Well, I would like to start, but I just don't have the money." That comes into the same thing, right? Somehow, huh?
Sure. I mean, again, I would say about 40% of the people in my team also didn't have the money. And about 40 to 50% of the people in every event you'll ever attend also didn't have the money. And so, you just need to realize that it's a pretty wimpy excuse, and you can either allow it or not allow it. And so I figure out, is that the real reason? Okay, 99.9% of the time it's not the actual reason, and if you dig a little bit, you'll actually find out the right reason. But if someone says to me, "Hey, I'd like to join, but I don't have the money," I'll ask them, "Are you trying to get in or out?" And they'll say, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Are you trying to get in? Or are you just saying that because you don't really want to join?" Now, sometimes they'll say, "You got me. I don't want to join." And I'm like, "Cool, man. Rock and roll. Have a good day. Hasta la vista." Right? End of the conversation. It's okay. I'm not begging them, convincing them, chasing them, bugging them, whatever. But if they say, "You know what? I'm really trying to get in." And so I say, "Okay, let me be clear. So if you had the money, you would join. Is that correct?" And they'll say, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool. So you're saying that you don't have X amount in your bank account or on a credit card. And so X amount could be $365, it could be $500, whatever your cost is. So you're saying you don't, let's just say $500. So you're saying you don't have $500 in your bank account or on a credit card that you can use right now." And if they say no, now sometimes they'll say, "You got me, I actually do." I say, "Cool, well, welcome to the team." And they'll kind of look and they're like, "Yeah, man, let's do this." And we'll sign up. But if they say, "No, I don't," I say, this is a very powerful question. I say, "How close are we?" Okay? How close are we?
Thanks.
So now instead of battling $500, I've had people tell me, "You know what? I got like $450." And I'm like, "Sweet. So we need $50 is what you're saying." And they say, "Yeah." And I say, "Okay, if we come up with the $50, you're joining. Is that correct? Just so I'm clear." "Yeah, absolutely." "Cool. Okay. How can we come up with the $50? And we'll either get them to sell their game box, we'll get them to sell video games, their jewelry, we'll get them to, I've had people sell their bike, their musical instruments, I've had people have yard sales, I've had people call, 3 people and borrow $20. I mean, they're getting in, right? And so that's the difference. You need to battle the difference, not the full amount. Because when I say, how can we come up with $500, that's kind of a lot of money. That can be tough to come up with. So you want to come up with the difference. What's the difference? How far are we off? That's the question to ask.
Very nice one.
And then you battle that. You're welcome.
Yes, wow. So, yeah. Okay, one question I had was, if someone was trying to get successful and just couldn't quite make it for a long time, let's say many months or maybe even years. I actually have heard of people who were struggling for 15 years. So it happens. So what would you tell this person? What should he do to get out of this deadly circle? I would call it.
there's a great training out there by the late great Jim Rohn, and I've been saying this for years, and then I saw his training, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like the same training, but he uses the word until, okay, and you remember the reason why you got involved and the reasons. If you got involved to spend more time with your family, to have more freedom in your life, to become someone significant that impacts other individuals, then you'll stick. You'll stay on this path. And if you don't remember those things, then you probably won't stick. And so my suggestion would be, remember the reasons that you joined. Don't look at the current circumstances or the fact that you took forever. There's a very famous story. There's a guy that I don't personally know, but a friend of mine knows, and I actually know quite a few people that know him. But this guy was a butcher for 40 years of his life, and was failed in all kinds of different network marketing companies, struggled forever, and I mean, I think it took him 20 years to build a business, but he now makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and he's the #1 income earner in a health and wellness network marketing company. And so, thank God that guy kept going until. And so the key word of the day is until. I was going to recruit until. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, the next 2 years are going to be sheer hell because I'm going to put my head down. We're not going to do dinner. We're not going to go to movies. We're not going to do anything because I'm going to dig myself out of debt. Now, I was prepared to go 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, because what if it takes 10 years? Seriously. Do you know how many people have crappy lives for 10 plus years the rest of their life, right? What if it took 10 years? 10 years for full freedom? Name a job that gives you full freedom in 10 years. There are none. And, so you think of the alternative. If you think of the alternative, you'll also keep going.
Nice one. Yes, nice one. Wow. Okay. One team partner asked me to ask you, we hear this question a lot. How much are you making? Kind of a question like, what should someone answer if, for example, he is struggling for many months, like long time inside and still not making money, and then the recruit is asking, but how much are you making? You're already 6 months there, so how much did you make in that time?
So this is one of those questions that I can give you, and I'll give you a couple answers here, but it's one of those questions that the actual answer to this isn't the problem. Okay, people never ask me how much are you making, right? Never. And the reason is because of two things. Not because they know. I close people that don't know me all the time, right? So it's not that I have some big impressive resume and everyone sees it. I meet people that don't know my history all the time. They don't know that I'm, driving that car or living in this house or making a bunch of money or whatever. They don't know that, right? The reason you get that question is two things: a lack of posture and wimpy tonality, okay? And so this is where a script will not benefit that person. So I could give them a script, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if I tell you to say, you know what, I'm actually, the guys that I'm working with are showing me step by step how to do it, and the guy that I'm working with is actually making over $100,000 a year. See, if you say that with the right tonality, it works. If you say it with, well, the guy that I'm working with is making a lot of money, see, it's terrible tonality, it's terrible posture, that won't work. Yes. And so people that ask those types of questions, they usually aren't struggling in a lack of what to say, they're struggling in how to say it. You need to have your shoulders back, your chest up, and you need to look at them like you're, the freaking man, you're the king of the town. They don't know the difference, and that's the beauty of cold market. And with warm market, you just offset. You're using a third party. You're saying, you know what, I'm working with this guy, and oh man, this guy's unbelievable. See, with the right energy, you'll blow right past that objection. With the wrong energy, it'll stick there, and it'll just be like, oh, I wish I had something to say. So you got to work on your posture, you got to work on your tonality, and then as far as the actual answer, if you have tonality, if you have posture, then you can just third party it, and it's just not that big a deal.
That's absolutely correct, yeah. Actually, that's my experience in the recent weeks, I want to say. The posture makes everything. It's amazing. It goes to the point that it starts to be fun actually to do the work because the posture is right and people react very different and they objections just don't appear anymore. That's amazing. So, but what would
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
recommend someone to change the posture? Like, if someone is,
I mean, it takes time. It takes time. It takes experience. It's kind of like, someone, you know, they want to learn to ride a bicycle by reading a book. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult for me to just say, here's how you increase your posture. You kind of you got to go out there and become that person that would have good posture. And you have to do that through, getting your jersey dirty by getting out there and making things happen and talking to people and being okay with them saying no. I don't care if someone says no or not. I'm just not addicted to that outcome. But you can, they're not going to beat me up. I don't care what they say. If they say, it's one of them pyramid things, I say, sweet, man, not for you, man. Hey, rock and roll. Have a good day. Later. Right? I'm not affected. They're not affecting my posture. I'm not starting to doubt myself like, oh my God, maybe it is. Right? No, I'm moving on. Posture is knowing what you have without the need for outside approval. And so I don't need someone to approve me, just like you don't need me to tell you that electricity works. You know it works. And if I tell you electricity, I think it's a fad, you're going to say, you're crazy because you believe in electricity. I believe in my profession like most people believe in electricity. So someone can't tell me that this doesn't work.
Yes, that's correct. That's very nice answer. Thank you. Okay. Funny question. What would you say is the secret to success in network marketing? If you could boil it down to one point, like.
If I had to boil it down to one point, it becomes indistinguishable to those that lack this, but the answer would be vision. And so vision is what will pull you to do the activities that you need to do each and every day to become successful. Without vision, when the going gets tough, you're going to quit, or you're going to look for a different company, you're going to look for a different comp plan. Without that vision, you're not going to use the words like until. You're going to test things out and see if they work, and then when they don't, you're going to quit. And so if I had to boil it down, I'd say vision, but to most people, they don't even comprehend what that means. Vision is who you want to become. It's the internal reflection that may involve, a lot of times involve external, whys. You've heard people talk about, you got to have a why that make you cry. Well, the problem with a why is it's external of you and it's commercially digestible. So if I say to someone, hey, my why is to spend more time with my kids, I'm going to get a payoff and they're going to say, yeah, man, that sounds great. And that's a problem, actually, because you need to get your payoff when you get the actual payoff. I know people have had the same why for 10 years, right? So if I had to boil it down, I would say the vision of who you want to become that will pull you to do all the activities you should be doing.
Yes, very nice. You actually, my God, there's so many nuggets now in this short conversation. I have a list here already, and
I hope you're recording.
Yeah, I am. I hope it works. Actually, I did one interview with another $1 million earner, and somehow it got lost. But it is recording, of course. And
all right, good.
I mean, it comes again and again. Become the person who you want to become. It was a lot. You said it a lot. So that's really important, and I completely agree with that. That is very important. I heard that from Jim Rohn for the first time when he was 25, nice. And this Mr. Shove came and told him, Mr. Rohn, it's time to make a plan to become a millionaire. And Jim Rohn said, well, how can I make a plan to become a millionaire? I'm completely broke. And Mr. Shove said, no, it's not about the money. It's about the person you have to become in order to become a millionaire. So and that was, for me, it was like, wow, yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Wow, thank you so much. I know you're very busy. You even told me that today is more busy day.
Yep.
So
it is.
I don't want to use up so much time from you. Thank you very, very much for this interview. In the name of everybody watching. I hope we see again one time.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, good connecting with you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you very much. All the best for you, and
you got it.
Talk soon.
You got it. Keep rocking.